You must see Yewande as equally as beautiful as Molly May. And if you don't, you're colorist. Now, something else I would like to address regarding Love Island are the attraction police. I would like to address you guys who attack people for not coupling up with black women, the fact that the black women are getting picked last, and there is this culture pressure campaign to demand that everybody sees black women as equally as beautiful as all the other ethnicities. Because I don't really watch Love Island, but these conversations, when I watch them, I'm like, it's embarrassing now. It's embarrassing. Like, why are you demanding that you must see us as equally as beautiful as Latinas and Swedish girls? Why can't everybody just be in their own vibe? Why does everyone need to be as equally as? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There's some black man out. Dr. Umar Johnson, listen, you need to listen to more Dr. Umar Johnson, because I don't think you love yourself enough. Dr. Umar Johnson promotes the concept called Pan-Africanism. He's like, I love my black queens and my black sisters. And it's not forced for him. He genuinely just sees black women as the most beautiful race because that's his opinion. So why do you care that Tom, Dick and Harry don't fancy you? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So here are some black girls and black men on the show who have been either last to pick or people just didn't want to couple up with them. Sharif Lanrace, Mira Mighty, Malin Anderson, Marcel Somerville, Yewande Biala, Leanna Manning. So all of these people have been the last to be coupled up with. And as a consequence of this, BLM is now ramming interracial relationships down our throats. You must see Yewande as equally as beautiful as Molly May. And if you don't, you're colorist. And so now all of the contestants will just feel pressure because of the previous backlash to pick black women. That's not love. It's giving Princess Fiona falls in love with Shrek, but her family are pressuring her to marry Prince Charming. And she doesn't want to marry Prince Charming. She loves Shrek because Shrek loves her for who she truly is. If Princess Fiona likes ogres, she likes ogres. Leave her alone, fairy godmother. I think that's my 7th Shrek reference on the podcast. I am by no means calling white people ogres. Show your beans. Okay? I just love the tale of their unorthodox and inseparable love. So yeah, Tom, Dick and Harry don't fancy you. When they're at the pub, the questions they ask are, what do you think, Harry? Blondes or brunettes? Oh, I don't know, Harry. Oh, I don't know, Tom. That's a tough one. This is the age-old question. This is their great dichotomy in this life. Blondes. And let me tell you something. They're not talking about a black girl with a platinum blonde wig. They swear. Yeah, but they're not talking about you, girl. They're not talking about you. Can we stop demanding that people retrain their attractions? Because it feels just forced. It feels the most unnatural, forced relationships, and those ones are not going to last. Princess Fiona wants to marry Shrek. Leave her alone, fairy godmother. It will last long enough for that male contestant to garner favour with the black viewership as he demonstrates his commitment to upending colorism and Eurocentric standards of beauty. Yeah. We used to fight against slave owners. Do you know what I mean? We used to be slavery abolitionists, and now this is what we advocate for. This is so right. Now it's a bit uncomfortable watching this unfold, watching the coupling and the recoupling unfold. My sisters love the show, so involuntarily it's on the television, and I'm aware of the concept as well as I'm commentating on it now. But the way that these girls line up is like how girls are lined up at a brothel. They get lined up at the coupling. The men come in. These girls are in their bikinis, like how you would be at a brothel, just like a glorified, glamorized brothel. And the men examine them, inspect them. Which one is my type on paper? They select that girl that they want to be with, and then they bed that girl that same night. They couple up, and that's the couple that they're in. This is what the coupling up looks like. Viewer discretion advised. This incoming clip contains women in scantily clad bikinis.
I'm going to choose Amber.
It's nice to be picked, right?
Yeah, it's nice to be picked. Thank you. Thank you for
fair enough.
picking
It is
me.
what it is.
Did 2024 not teach us anything? 2023, even 2022, even? I thought we bullied pick-me's out of existence. I thought we did that. We used to make fun of pick-me's. Oh, pick me, choose me, love me. This show is literally you standing there. Pick me, choose me. You're literally being a pick-me. I hope he picks me. I hope he picks me. I haven't been picked in a while. Now, something I also like to address is the lack of representation, or not anymore anyways, because there's a lot of them on the show. But previously, when there was not many black contestants, I made a TikTok and it went viral. And I was basically saying that 3% of Britain is black. So proportion-wise, if you want it to be fair, 3% of the contestants should be black. And everybody would say, we haven't got enough, we haven't got enough. But if you did the numbers, if you did the maths, it turns out it'd be like one black person per series would satisfy that proportion. We see literally the entirety of Wakanda on this show. Now we just see everyone is black on the show. It's like they brought in all of Wakanda, and it's not fair because it's not reflective or accurately reflective of Britain's racial demographic. I hate to burst your metropolitan city bubble, but the majority of the UK is white. I know we've got dense populations of black people and other minorities in London, Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, but the vast majority of England is still English, okay? By ethnicity and not just nationality. So for many of these minority activists, it's not actually about equality, it's about cultural and social dominance. Something you have to put your foot down with, because it's not fair. This is England, and therefore the majority of people you see should be English on TV. Shocker. Shocker. The Love Island viewership will obsess over minorities appearing on the show and black men on the show. But what I've observed is that they don't actually care for these black lives when they leave the villa. So one contestant named Ikenna, big black guy on the show, he was on for like a few episodes before he was voted out. And there was a follow-up documentary and they asked him, what are you getting up to these days? And he said he was sofa surfing. It was revealed that he was sofa surfing as he was trying to find an agent. Woohoo, black life on the show, but no one cares about him post-production. Had it not been for that Channel 4 documentary, nobody would have known what was happening. And this is not the only victim of fame. So Paige Thorne, she was a Love Island contestant in 2022. She's actually trained as a paramedic. She was told by her employers that she's actually not allowed to return to her job as a paramedic with the NHS because of her bikini photos and her online social media presence. Let's take a listen to her describing her experience on this podcast.
So I was like, well, I'll go back to being a paramedic.
Yeah.
And then my job was like, don't really want you to do that because, you know, you post pictures in your bikinis and everything else. And I was just like, right, okay, so we can't do that.
Yeah. Are you like sad about that?
Yeah, so upset about it. I worked really hard to become a paramedic.
I was going to say, yeah,
Like,
so much training's involved and all of that.
So much training. And I worked like 3 years before that, right? COVID, did it all. And then they're just like, actually, thanks, but no thanks.
Because you've like posted pics of bikini. I mean,
That's mad.
It's not going to stop you from giving CPR and that, is it? I'm sure if an old man had passed out and he woke up to you giving him the kiss of life, he'd actually be quite happy, do you know what I mean?
Joker. But yeah, so she was a frontline worker. She was an indispensable frontline worker during the pandemic. And they said no. For the NHS, the short-staffed, standing on its last leg NHS, to tell you no, to deny you that you're qualified for the role of being a pandemic, it goes to show the type of disreputable behaviour that this show televises. And in the case of Paige Thorne, irredeemably disreputable behaviour. Social media, bikinis. You think, oh, this is fine wearing a bikini. Well, apparently not. Apparently, to the person with common sense, it is not normal wearing bikinis on television, flirting with guys, sleeping with guys on television. It is not appropriate behaviour. The reality for Love Island contestants is that you are cornered into a life of fame And if that doesn't work out for you, you will spend the rest of your life struggling to reassimilate into civilian life. But would you believe me if I told you that Paige Thorne was one of the lucky ones? She was one of the lucky ones because she at least still has her life. Another Love Island contestant who appeared on the show in 2017, named Mike Lassitis, took his own life 2 years after leaving the show. He was more popularly known as Muggy Mike, and his body was found in Edmonton Green in North London in 2019. His toxicology report revealed the presence of drugs and alcohol in his system. His family highlighted how rapidly gaining this success seriously affected Mike. So one of his relatives said Mike struggled to come to terms with his newfound fame. He couldn't walk down the streets without being recognized. They also said that Mike never received any support from Love Island. So what should we do about this? What is the solution? Well, we can do to Love Island what ITV senior leadership have already done, but with a different show. The Jeremy Kyle Show. The Jeremy Kyle Show featured reconciliation with families, lie detector tests, DNA tests, drug tests, and one of their guests, called Steve Diamond, took his life in 2019 after a lie detector test revealed that he was being unfaithful to his fiancée. Now, the show was never aired, but the damage was already done. Carolyn McCall, the ITV CEO at the time, made the decision to suspend the show just for review before finally deciding to cancel it altogether. I believe this is the best course of action for the Love Island television series, to cancel the show, take it off the air altogether, because this show promotes the decline of morality in the UK, the tolerance and the acceptance of promiscuity, but also it destroys the lives of its contestants emotionally and financially post-production. I will link part 1 of this episode in the description below. Thank you for tuning in to the Free Thinker Cast. I have been your host, Hannah. Remember to like, comment and subscribe and share with all of your friends. Bye.